The October sun hung low over Indore, spilling gold across the pavements outside the Radisson Blu. Traffic hummed, scooters buzzed past in a blur, and the city, half chaos, half rhythm, was just waking up from its mid-morning lull. Inside the hotel lobby, the Australia women's cricket team prepared for another training session. Laughter echoed off the marble floors. Someone played a short video on their phone, another sipped iced coffee. Two of them, Emma Clark and Sophie Hughes, decided to take a short walk before practice. It was 10:15 a.m. Neither of them could have guessed that in the next 10 minutes, their world would feel suddenly, violently unsafe. They stepped out into the warm Indian morning. The street outside was alive. Vendors calling, rickshaws weaving, the scent of fried bread and cardamom tea drifting through the air. Emma tugged on her cap, sunglasses shielding her eyes from the glare. Sophie laughed. "You sure we won't get mobbed for autographs again?" "Not if we move fast," Emma grinned. They walked along the main road, heading toward a cafe half a kilometer away. Their security detail usually followed discreetly in a vehicle, but this morning both insisted they'd be fine. It was a public area, daytime, just a short stroll. The air shimmered with heat. They talked about the last match, Sophie's 50-run knock, Emma's dropped catch, and teased each other as friends do. Then came the sound. A low revving of a motorcycle. Closer. Slower. Back at the hotel, Team Security Officer David Moore received the ping. 2 red dots flashing on his screen, 30 meters apart on a GPS map. He didn't hesitate. "Stay exactly where you are," he ordered through the phone. "I'm sending the car now." Within minutes, a white van screeched to the curb. The women climbed in silently. The driver locked the doors, merged into traffic. No one spoke. Sophie stared out the window, eyes glazed. Emma clenched her fists until her nails left half-moon marks on her palms. The cafe, the sunshine, the laughter, gone. Replaced by the sound of that engine echoing in their skulls. By noon, the police had been called. At Indore's Palasia police station, ceiling fans whirred above as statements were taken. An interpreter helped with the details, her pen scratching fast. "Can you describe the man?" "Medium build. White shirt. Blue jeans. Black helmet." "Did you see his face?" "No. But the license plate. Part of it started with MP09. Officers nodded, exchanging glances. CCTV footage from traffic cameras was requested within the hour. Meanwhile, the news leaked. First on local social media, then national headlines. 2 Australian women cricketers harassed in Indore. The story spread like wildfire. By evening, journalists gathered outside the station. The sun dipped behind the city's tall buildings, the glow of red cameras flickering like restless fireflies. At 8 p.m., after reviewing footage from 3 intersections, police located the suspect, a 25-year-old man named Akil Khan, arrested near a petrol pump on the eastern edge of the city. Inside the interrogation room, fluorescent light buzzed above him. He mumbled excuses, claimed he'd only brushed past by mistake. But video evidence showed otherwise. Intentional approach. Outstretched hand. Deliberate contact. He was charged under sections 354 and 354D of the Indian Penal Code. Assault and stalking. Outside, flashbulbs burst as officers led him to a police van. The city that prided itself as India's cleanest and safest, now faced global embarrassment. In the hotel suite, the mood was heavy. Players whispered, phones pinged with messages from family back home. The team's captain addressed them softly. "This shouldn't have happened. It's not your fault. We'll make sure you're protected." Emma sat on the edge of her bed, staring at her shaking hands. She wasn't sure if it was fear or anger that made them tremble. Sophie lay on the couch, eyes closed. She whispered, "I just keep hearing the engine." Outside, the night of Indore moved on, the honking, the street dogs, the call of distant vendors. But inside the hotel, silence reigned. When dawn came, the sunlight filtering through the curtains felt foreign. Emma woke early, opened the balcony door, and looked down at the city streets below. Everything seemed normal: rickshaws, people walking, shops opening. Yet she could no longer look without caution. The team decided to continue their matches. "Because fear can't win," Sophie said quietly during breakfast. Security doubled. Escorts assigned. The cafe visits cancelled, morning walks forbidden. But as they boarded the team bus that day, Emma noticed something else. Locals standing at the roadside, holding small signs handwritten in English. "We are sorry. Indore stands with you." Tears pricked her eyes. Not everyone was cruel. Not everyone looked away. That night, during the next match, the stadium lights burned bright against the dark indoor sky. The crowd, nearly 15,000 people, cheered when the Australian women took the field. Emma, standing in the outfield, heard a chant rising from the stands. "Respect. Respect." It wasn't part of cricket tradition. It was the city's apology, shouted through thousands of throats. Sophie, keeping wicket, turned to smile faintly at Emma. For the first time since the attack, she felt something other than fear. Something like belonging. After the match, senior officials from both the Australian and Indian cricket boards met the press. Cameras flashed as Cricket Australia's spokesperson read a statement. "Our players were approached and touched inappropriately while walking near their hotel. The swift action by Indore police is appreciated. However, this reminds us all. Athletes, no matter where they travel, must feel safe. This isn't about nationality. It's about respect." Reporters scribbled. Microphones jostled. Outside, the accused awaited his hearing in custody. Back in her room that night, Emma couldn't sleep. She scrolled through messages, support from fans, friends, strangers. One tweet stood out. "To the Australian girls. India is with you. What happened was wrong. You are not alone." She put her phone down, walked to the mirror. The face staring back looked tired but unbroken. She whispered to herself, "I'll play tomorrow." Not in fear, but in defiance. The next morning she did. Smashed 67 runs. Player of the match. Over the next week, Indore's police added new patrolling units near major hotels. Banners about women's safety appeared across intersections. Local newspapers ran editorials titled, "A Wake-Up Call for Us All." For most residents, the incident was a stain, but also a reminder that silence enables cruelty. In a cafe not far from the hotel, the owner hung a handwritten note near the counter. "To Emma and Sophie, coffee's on us next time you walk here. Come back when the city has learned better." When the tournament ended, Australia lifted the trophy. Reporters asked Emma how it felt after such a difficult week. She smiled faintly. "It's not just about cricket anymore," she said. "It's about walking down a street and knowing you belong there. We'll keep playing until that's true everywhere." The cameras clicked, lights flashed, and the press room erupted in applause. Outside, the same road where it all began glowed beneath the streetlights. Quiet now, watched by police patrols, the air cooler, cleaner somehow. A new morning would come again. And perhaps this time it would be a little safer. In the official report, the words were clinical. A 25-year-old man arrested for inappropriate contact with two foreign athletes near a hotel in Indore. But behind those words lay a story of fear, courage, shame, and solidarity. A reminder that even heroes in stadiums are human on the streets. For Emma and Sophie, the trip to India would forever carry two memories. One of violation and one of resilience. Because the road outside the hotel didn't just test their safety. It tested their spirit. And they refused to break.